Why, hello there. This week on Arc Reaction, we're discussing Hawkeye versus Deadpool. It's a wonderful book by Mr. Gerry Duggan with pencils from Matteo Lolli and Jacopo Camagni. It's really a love letter from these storytellers to Matt Fraction and his run on Hawkeye. That's what all this humor is about in this story. You see, that's what makes this comic work. My main concern coming to this comic book for suggesting it to anybody is if you are not reading Matt Fraction's Hawkeye, it is not funny. It won't make sense. You should just go read Hawkeye and then come back to this. But if you are one of the readers that is simultaneously a fan of Duggan's Deadpool and also a fan of Matt Fraction's Hawkeye, you're perfect. If that is you in the Venn diagram where there's Deadpool fans and Hawkeye fans and you're right there, fan of everything, this might be worth picking up. Now, it isn't without its problems. Notably, I worry about the person hypothetically in the future, 20, 30 years from now, huge fan of Deadpool, picking up this book and going, what the hell is this and what is it talking about? Now, we of course all hope that Matt Fraction's Hawkeye will just leave that sort of legacy, that guy will just go, I know exactly these references to Pizza Dog and such. But in case that doesn't last, this is just it's a comic of its time. The main issue beyond that is that, so the secondary main, the sub-main issue beyond that is that Lolli and Camagni do the pencils for this book. That is two artists doing the pencils, and it switches between them. It's a little off-putting at times. This isn't unheard of, but it's always sort of an issue that when it happens, when you have two artists working on a book, it doesn't flow as well. So that's a concern, and it should be fixed by people. And of course, this is also a side effect of something I'm always complaining about, is just that these stories tend to, it's 5 issues running from issue number 0 to issue number 4. Why 0? I don't know. Because 0 is funny. And as a result of that, we have 2 artists working on this book to hit deadlines, and the book suffers for it. Now, that said, Lolli's art, and I do hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, if I'm not, somebody correct me, is wonderful. His facial expressions make this book work. He does wonderful visual humor in this book, and that's when it is really hitting its stride with a lot of these visual jokes in issues 3 and early on in 4. There's wonderful scenes with Kate Bishop and a rocket launcher, well, an RPG. And later with Deadpool running around in Hawkeye's old costume on a sky cycle. And that just, it's good stuff. So when the book works, it works well. But there aren't really 5 issues worth of humor here. It does definitely peak in issue 3, and the story is forgettable. It's just there to set up jokes, and the jokes, when they work, but I don't think there's necessarily 5 issues worth of jokes. There's maybe 3 issues worth of really good jokes, and then 2 issues of, you'll smirk at it, you'll be mildly amused, you're not gonna be laughing. But it's a fun book if you are in that Venn diagram, and I may recommend it to you as a result of that. It is something that's amusing. It's definitely something that's going to, you'll probably see these images floating around the internet of Deadpool in that Hawkeye costume from now until eternity. But beyond that, are the jokes really worth it? Depends on how much you really love humorist comic books. humorful. The funnies. If you're a fan of comedic comics, then yeah, jump in, have fun with Hawkeye, and you're a fan of Hawkeye, great place to jump in. Otherwise, I don't think there's anything really to write home about. I don't think this is anything that's going to really stand any sort of test of time. It's an amusing thing to check out. But beyond that, you'll just have to come back next week to the next Arc Reaction, and we can talk about something else. In the meantime, please subscribe. Be sure to follow us on the Twitter, the Facebook, the Instagram, maybe something else. And be sure to leave comments below and tell us what you think, and we will get back to you, I guess.